guys, it's Meg. What's up? What's poppin'? Welcome to the podcast. Every month spreads awareness about multiple things. June is Pride Month, National Safety Month, National Caribbean American Heritage Month, and National Candy Month, and that's the one we're going to be deep diving and talking about this podcast episode. Now, I do have, I think, 2 sources, maybe 3. I don't fully remember. I did do this research a little bit ago. So we're also going to hope that I can read my handwriting. Hey, what's up? It's Editing Meg, and we're just going to put a trigger warning in right here, right now, because throughout the episode at a couple of different points, we do talk about calories and food talking, so if that is a trigger for you, maybe skip this episode and we'll see you again next Monday at 9 a.m. The first source we have is nationaldaycalendar.com. So the candy and treats are recognized all month for their contributions to the way we celebrate our pastimes, mark special occasions, and the ways we celebrate every day. And an example they gave is that candy is often at the movies, baseball games, fairs, vacations, there's trail mixes, and they're at weddings. So they do have a good point. I feel like music and candy are always there in our lives in the background. They said when eaten in moderation, candy adds about 40 calories a day. I probably should have put a trigger warning there. I'm so sorry. I also don't know if that's good or bad or not. I don't know anything about calories. According to the National Confectioners Association, they are a real thing, and we're going to talk about them a little bit later. For every 1 job created in the confectionery industry, 7 more are reported in related industries, which include farmers, processors, and distributors, to name a few. That's pretty cool. And then they said how to observe this month. They said to eat candy and to use the hashtag National Candy Month when you post on social media. I was about to say that's all I took from the source, but it's not. I have a history section I took from the source. It is a little small, though. It said that it was first observed in January of 1974 because the sales of candy would drop after the holiday season and New Year's resolutions, because a lot of time people are like, oh my gosh, new year, new me. But they decided to take this National Candy Month holiday, and they originally moved it to May. I don't know what happened. They didn't really say why, but somehow it later became June, and that's what they settled on. And it was founded by the National Confectioners Association. And that leads me to number 2. The source we have is candyusa.com, and this is the National Confectionaries Association official website. That's a tongue twister. That is a lot to say. I also feel like I'm talking way too fast, because why am I only 3 minutes in and we already are starting our second source? It's a little scary. I am recording this after working an early shift today. Sorry. They have their website divided into different sections. So the first one they have is called The Power of Sweet. It said for 250 years, they have created tens of thousands of quote-unquote good-paying jobs. I put quote-unquote good-paying jobs. I don't think they did parentheses. I did parentheses because, finding a good-paying job in this economy, in this industry, in this time frame and world, that's a little hard to come by. Where am I? Oh, they support tens of thousands of jobs manufacturing chocolate, candy, gum, and mints. They support jobs in agriculture, transportation, retail, and other sectors. And they're saying they strengthen the economy because they're supplying all these jobs, which, if you think about it, it's kind of true. Look at every single retail store almost that you go into. They have candy, which we've also done episodes on specific candy. I feel like we did one on gum. Do you think I looked that up? No. So Editing Meg? We only did one other candy episode, and that was Season 4, Episode 10, and it was the history of bubblegum. Thank you for that. The next section they had on their website was called, and I quote, always a treat. It said to help consumers choose the right treat for any occasion, they offer varieties and variety? Why am I feeling pronounced that wrong? And pack sizes/portions. And they always remind people that candy is a treat and not a center of the plate food. They were very specific on this. Okay, they were saying that candy is not part of your five food groups: fruit, veggies, protein. I don't have that much left to talk about already, and that makes me nervous because we've been having slightly longer podcast episodes. Food, plate, nutrition. I was right. It is 5. It's fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. And I'm sorry if that triggered anybody. Then the next section they have is fun and unique. They said a spark of joy that turns everyday moments into something special and makes special occasions memorable. Again, spiraling off of this, going off of this, skirting off of this. It's so true. I feel like there's so many situations where candy has been a part of it. Even think about when does this episode come out? I think Memorial Day already happened when this episode comes out. Does she come out on Memorial Day? No, she does not. Yeah, I want to say Memorial Day was last weekend. How many of you guys had a little cookout and then had s'mores at a campfire? Okay, so you might not have been able to have a campfire and s'mores this time around because I don't know where all you live, but where I am, it was raining 90% of Memorial Day weekend. But do you get the point I'm trying to make? It's so true. I feel like it's just so part of our lives that we don't realize it's even there anymore. The next section they have is, and I put a star next one, I don't know why. They said, the trusted voice and champion of the confectionery industry. And I'm pretty sure what I'm going to say next is a direct quote, but don't quote me on that direct quote. It says, the NCA, which is the National Confectionery Association, serves as a knowledgeable, credible, and effective advocate for the confectionery industry grounded in data and science. I don't know why I started that. I think because it said it was grounded in data and science, and we don't see that often anymore. Then the next section is some facts that they gave. They said that 89% of consumers believe that health and happiness are interconnected. I think everyone believes in that, and if you don't, I would love to know why. The next fact, 98% of American households buy chocolate or candy at least once a year. At least once a year is crazy. That seems like it should be once a month. Do people not buy candy whenever? Do you not just go get yourself a little sweet treat? And then the last fun fact they gave is 74% of Americans enjoy sharing gifts of confectionery throughout the year. And I do have one more source. I guess this is going to be a shorter episode. I'm sorry. Thought it was going to be longer. The last source I have is businessinsider.com, and it is the candy everyone was obsessed with the decade you were born in. Except the years were weird. It doesn't go consistently, and it starts for some reason in 1945, and the number one candy was Tootsie Rolls. Now, before we go down this list more, I personally did not realize how old half of this candy is. Some of this candy, I was like, oh, that's pretty recent, and then you look at it, and you're like, wow, you're actually really old. 1948, it was M&M's. 1950, it was Hot Tamales. 1955, Good and Plenty. 1957, Charleston Chews. 1960 was Pixie Sticks. That's the one that threw me off. I didn't realize how old Pixie Sticks were. 1962 was Sweet Tarts. 1965 was Dum Dums. 1967 was Starburst. 1970 was Reese's. 1973 was Fun Dip. Another one that was crazy to me. 1975, Pop Rocks, and then it was saying that Pop Rocks was actually created by accident. And I feel like that always happens with food. Potato chips, those were created by accident. And you want to know why? I know that because there's this stupid standardized testing that happens, and for some reason, every single year, they always give the same story about potato chips, about how the chef got mad and cut the potato too thin because the customers complained about how too thick his french fries were. So he got mad and he cut them too thin, and then he cooked them, and then he's like, wait, these are actually really good. And that is how potato chips are born, because someone got mad. We had potato chips over a crash out. Before skirt. 1976, Gobstoppers. 1980, Jelly Beans. 1982, Reese's Pieces. I recently saw a TikTok where someone roasted people who pronounce the candy like this because apparently it's Reese's Pieces. And I feel like that is some Mandela effect because there is no way it's Pieces. 1983, Skittles. Another one. That's one of my favorite candies. And the fact that it's from 1983, maybe before that. 1985, Sour Patch Kids. 1988, it just said gummy candies. It wasn't really specific. It did mention gummy bears, but it was just saying gummy candies in general. 1990, Big League Chew. 1993, Warheads. 1995, Hershey's Cookies and Cream. 1998, Baby Bottle Pop. Which, you guys remember the theme song that was for Baby Bottle Pop? Why does candy not have theme songs anymore? They would sell so much more if they did. Do you remember the Hershey Kiss Christmas commercial where they put the kisses in the shape of a tree and then I'm pretty sure it's like Jingle Bells they play? They play some sort of Christmas song, but do you remember that commercial? And then I feel like M&M's used to do so many commercials because they have the talking M&M's. We need to bring that back. 2000, it is Bernie Bott's Every Flavor Beans from Harry Potter. Moving on. 2007, it said 5 gum. And I swear this is some Mandela effect happening because wasn't it called Take 5? Like that gum brand, I swear it used to be called Take 5 and not just a 5. So Editor Meg, can you look that up? I feel like I'm going crazy because when you look it up, everywhere it just says 5 brand gum and it was never called Take 5. And then I decided to look up Take 5 candy, and apparently there was a Reese's candy called Take 5 at one point, but that is the only thing that comes up when you search it, and I feel like it's wrong. 2017, Snickers. 2019, it was Reese's again. And in 2020, it was Skittles again. And that is everything I have for this episode. But before we end it, we are going to pull an affirmation for the week, and you're never going to believe it. We have some new affirmation decks. Round of applause, round of applause. 4 new decks, thanks to my sister. I will give her a shout out. We have 4 new decks because of her. She gave them to me. And the first one I picked was honestly just the one that was on top. And this one is Magical Messages from the Universe by Alexis Raccoon. I don't know how to pronounce it. But let's cue some ASMR shuffling that's never ASMR shuffling, but maybe one day it will be. I'm so excited that we have some new ones to use. She bought me 4. There's one that's like forest creatures. That one's like one of my favorites. Then there's like another one that's like a lot of blue. I forget the name of it. And then there's a chakra one. That one's also pretty cool. And the artwork on this one is like absolutely gorgeous. So, cards. What message? Ooh, she wants to be read. Okay. I was going to say, what message do we have for this week? So, subtle plug. If you go onto Hey Guys, It's Meg _podcast on Instagram, I do post a picture of what the artwork on the cards look like because this one's really, really pretty. So let's cue the drum roll, please. An open mind is a portal to a different reality. Infinite possibilities are all around you. And that is our affirmation for the week. So, the next time that maybe you're going to somebody's party, or you're having a cookout, or you're just out and about and you see some candy, maybe eat one because this is National Candy Month, so we might as well celebrate it. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Hey Guys, It's Meg. You can follow Hey Guys, It's Meg _podcast on Instagram for updates and good times. Come back next Monday at 9 a.m. where I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really know what we're doing because I wanted to do summer superstitions, but when I was looking up summer superstitions before, like a couple weeks ago, trying to get some research ahead, I just kept getting summer solstice traditions, which I do want to do an episode on summer solstice, so it does work for that. We might be doing some superstitions next week, we might not be, but either way, it's going to be summer related. I'll see you all on the flip side. Peace out, Girl Scouts.